today's edition of Closed Session, we are speaking with the president of the Peace River and District Chamber of Commerce, Justin Hicks. First off, Justin, welcome. Thank you for coming today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome. So I guess the first question is that you and other business leaders in the region had a chance to sit down with Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland. How did those meetings go?
I think they went really well. I felt like they're really productive. It was a really, I guess it was more of a casual environment. So questions were pretty open and free. She took on all of our, I guess, important questions, and she answered them. So I think it was a very positive situation.
Now, we know looking at things about in terms of pipeline, I remember speaking with you last week, you had mentioned that she's in fact pro-pipeline, isn't she?
Yes, she emphasized that when she was running in her riding in, I think it was the Toronto area, that the government, the NDP government was advertising or using pipelines against her. So she was demonstrating how she's pro-pipeline, she's pro-Canadian oil. So, yeah.
Okay, and I guess also as well, I mean, pipelines are one thing, but what are some of the other concerns of the business community in Peace River that were brought to her attention?
Yeah, so there's a handful. I mean, it was pretty energy focused, the conversation. We shared with her, as I mentioned before, like the 51 businesses leaving Peace River since 2015. There was some conversation on some taxation, and then I think the big, if there was a second place issue, is that there's the large effect on agriculture, which was new to me, that I didn't really understand how there was a west and east divide in terms of agriculture as well. So.
Okay, and in saying that as well, at least from the questions you were able to ask, did you get any answers? And at the very least, were there something that she said, I'm going to bring this back to the Prime Minister, or I'm going to do this? Was like any sort of action hinted at or guaranteed even?
I think it was like the stigma of the room, or was like we weren't bringing up new issues. I think if I could offer a refreshing perspective on the conversation, I think sometimes the brush of the Liberal government gets painted that they're super anti-oil. I don't think she's learned anything from that meeting, but I think we were a little more refreshed on her perspective on getting TMX and on pipelines. All
right. Now, talking specifically about the Peace River Chamber, you know what, we're in a new year, and now that it's that time of the year, I'm always asking guests on Closed Session, what are some of the big goals of the Chamber, in this case for 2020? What are some of the things that you're laying out that you hope to get done?
Okay, so like last year, we really wanted to make like a good digital impact, like have more of a social media presence. Right. Starting with that, in order to align our strategy, we want to start more of a tiered membership, where we can start offering our business community more, I guess, value for their chamber dollars. So by doing the chamber tiered membership, we're gonna highlight the contributors that are spending a lot more in the business community, but not getting recognized for it. So I think that's the first step.
Right.
And then, I think we're build momentum on that social media presence. We have another campaign coming up in February. Like I've been really pushing the shop local, but it's come to my attention that we should actually kind of change it to think local. So at least at a minimum, think about the local spend before you go and buy somewhere else. I came across some interesting stats, but like $1 spent in the community actually has an influence of 7 people. So I think if we start to, like, everybody knows shopping local is good, but I guess at least at a minimum, think local and see where you can spend your dollars.
And in saying that too, I know talking to another person from another chamber in the Fairview area, Chelsea Carter, one of the things that she had mentioned actually, for every dollar that is spent in the community, it creates a $5 spin-off effect if that dollar stays in the community. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, so the number I got was 7, so 5, 7, so that is pretty close. I think we all know that if businesses are prosperous, well, I shouldn't say I think, but I would assume if businesses are prosperous and they're employing people, then our community is thriving. And that's the whole reason why I even got involved with the chamber, is I think the heartbeat of the community is the business community.
Yep, definitely. And as most people will know, this is that over 98% of businesses in Canada are considered small businesses.
That's right.
That's true. So, and also something else I want to mention, because I know coming up a couple of weekends from now is a very big night for the Peace River Chamber, the Davis Business Awards.
Yeah, so I guess it's quote unquote our Stanley Cup. So the Davis Awards
Yes.
is January 25th. It's an excellent event. It's like our version of the Oscars. So yeah, hopefully everybody can come. It's $85 a ticket or $850 for a table.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's obviously to celebrate local businesses in Peace River. And on top of that, I guess for this year is that one thing I've noticed, and even from my time here in 05, 06 compared to now, there's such a resiliency among business owners and managers in this community. And do we still feel that resiliency among the chamber membership?
Yeah, I definitely do. And like the motivating or the enlightening part about being about the chamber is the amount of business influencers and how involved they are with the community and how passionate they are that they see Peace River succeed.
Awesome. Justin, thank you for taking the time. Here's to a good 2020.
No problem. Thanks, Kenny.
This is Justin Hicks, the president of the Peace River and District Chamber of Commerce, on another edition of Closed Session.